You can sense the intensity as they await the arrival of the Tennessee team here at Neyland Stadium. The #1 undefeated Volunteers prepare to race onto the field. Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the Volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
What's going on, YouTubes? Got my cup of coffee here, half house blend, half Columbia roast from Pilot Flying J. I tell you what, guys, we did a little pre-show prep, and they were going at it. I tell you what, it's going to be a good fan face-off between Clemson's own YouTuber extraordinaire, Pigskin Peete, and the legendary Alabama YouTuber, Lawtide. This is the second time I think they've went at it. They went at it last year. It was great. But I tell you what, there ain't no love lost between Clemson and Alabama, especially their fans. But I wanted to welcome them both onto the show. How you guys doing? Let me unmute you first, and then maybe you could talk. But anyway, I'm just excited I got both of y'all on. How y'all doing?
Doing pretty good. How you doing, Catfish?
Hey, I'm doing great. Just another year in paradise over here in Clemson land. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's right. Daggone fan face-off number 7. Gonna get it popping up in here. Eastbound and down one time. Let's do it.
Well, let's get this thing going. Now remember, no personal attacks or anything like that. But y'all are excited. Are y'all even ready for this game, or y'all just numb to losing? I seen a article. Now listen to this, where the prices out there in Santa Clara are going for the tickets are going below market value. Now I think a lot of that has to do with it's awful expensive to go out there, but I think some of it has to do with you guys are always in it, and maybe y'all just aren't as excited. I have a feeling if this was Georgia, they would buy every ticket they could. I know Tennessee would fill it up, but before we get into this fan face-off, and I'll ask you first, Pete, why do you think the prices are plummeting out there for the game?
Well, I'll tell you why. First of all, I will tell you for sure that Clemson travels well. We will show up anywhere at any game. And I'm sure the same for Alabama is true. Now, I personally, my wife and I looked into getting tickets to go to this thing and see how much it would cost. The cheapest round ticket airfare we could find a piece were $975 a piece. Woo. The cheapest hotel room we could find at the best Western, crap hotel was $350 a night. So basically, for two people to go to this game from the East Coast, or at least from where I live, by the time you get the tickets and the hotel and the airfare and whatever entertainment you have while you're there, you're looking at about $4,000 to $5,000, and that's the reason that people aren't doing it, because they can't afford it.
Do you agree with that, Lawtide?
Yeah, I agree with it, because I just come back from the Orange Bowl, and it hit my pockets pretty good. I looked into it too, and I think the tickets were real cheap there. But the airfare, man, they really get me with the airfare, and the hotel prices. What me and my wife did, we did real well this year. We got us an Airbnb down in Miami, and man, it was just like I think we paid about $300 for 2 nights, and it really worked out for us, and it was really nice. So yeah, I can understand that, and it's a terrible venue. I mean, everybody I've heard that's played in that shitty stadium has said that it's just out there in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing out there but a bunch of corporate stuff. That's it. I mean, it's not really any atmosphere. It's just a corporate thing, and it's not really surprising me that that nobody's wanting to come. I'm sure there'll be a lot of locals come, and they'll bring their wine and their cheese, and they'll watch a battle down there. So I'm looking forward to it.
The field turf is supposed to be really bad too. That might be one of the worst fields in the NFL. I mean, Oakland's pretty bad too because they share it with the Raiders. But the field is in really bad shape, and I think that it could end up being a problem for both teams.
Yeah, they're saying it's going to rain down there, so we'll see how it goes. But I mean, I don't know what they done to get that that national championship game out there. It's like one of their wives that that are in went to their husband and say, we ain't never went out there to California before. Let's go on out there, and I like wine. We can sit there and drink us about a case of wine and watch us a football game and just make some money, because it don't matter if the fans come or not, because the sponsorship's all that matters. That's all that matters, is that money.
Yeah. It's broken. It really should not be where it is, but it is. So you got to deal with it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Well,
we'll play you in a phone booth, Clemson. We ain't scared.
Well, we're going to get into that trash talking, but let's introduce Mr. T, and I'll be right back with you.
At the dressing rooms. Would you care to comment on how you plan to fight Balboa? What's your strategy?
Don't need any. Balboa's so predictable and stupid. The man comes straight ahead. He's tailor-made for me, and he's gonna get hurt.
What's your prediction for the fight, then?
Prediction?
Yes, prediction.
Pain.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world on HBO pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Well, you heard him. Let's get ready to rumble. We're going to start this thing off. I'm going to give you some rules. Remember, no low blows. You knock your opponent out, go to the nearest corner, and wait for my instructions. But I wanted to go ahead and announce the winners of the last two fan face-offs we had. I don't know if I had a chance to do it, but the way I do this is we vote in the live chat, and if you're watching this after the live broadcast, vote in the comment section who you think won the fan face-off. Now remember, you only have to be a little bit right in trash talking. That's what this is. This is a trash talking show. But I have 4 anonymous, unbiased voters, and then I also have the 5th vote would be whoever wins the vote amongst you, the fans. That way it's more fair, so we don't have everybody stacking the box, so to speak. But we're going to get right into it, and the last 2 winners is Lawtide won against Mr. Bad Dog 7676. That was a great one. And you know what, Lawtide, I need to start branching out and doing some NFL fan face-offs, and you and Bad Dog need to come on and do one with Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. But you know what? The Giants need to get good before I want to start branching off into that. But anyway, that would be great. And also the Pigskin Peete and Ryan, the Notre Dame fan, had a fan face-off, and Pigskin won that one also. Both of those were scored 3-2 on the votes, and congratulations. And obviously Clemson won the game, so they get that $50 gift card for Pigskin, and Alabama won their game. That's why they're here today. So let's get into it. Congratulations to everybody, and I appreciate you two doing this for me. This is turning out to be a pretty good deal for me and everybody involved. And next year, I want more people to be involved. Everybody's tired of seeing Lawtide stack his trophy cases with all these fan face-off trophies. But anyway, let's get into it. Tell me something, Pigskin. On the last fan face-off, I asked you about how your season went. But this time, I'm just going to ask you, how did your playoff game go?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you watched the game or anything, but it's just like I told Ryan on the last fan face-off. There's just no comparison between Notre Dame, teams like Notre Dame, or even Georgia. For all you Georgia fans out there who've been crying and screaming for the past 3 weeks about how you belong in the playoff, and you go getting your ass handed to you by a mediocre Texas team. There is no comparison between teams like Notre Dame and Alabama. They are the cream of the crop. They have been for the better part of a decade now. Because all people ever want to say when they come on my YouTube channel or on Twitter is Clemson's only been relevant for 4 years. They haven't been paying attention to college football. Because last time I checked, 2010 was 8 years ago, not 4. And there's not a single program in all of America that has even close to the amount of wins total wins against top 10 teams, wins in the playoffs, then Alabama and Clemson. So it's no big shocker to me that we blew Notre Dame off the map and put them back in their rightful place.
You know what? I watched a documentary, and I'm going to get to Lawtide and how his game went, but about Dabo Swinney. Everybody talks about he needs a statue, but I'm going to tell you who's the credit for this Clemson dominance we've seen. Is that AD, I forget his name, something Phillips or whatever, whoever took a chance on a wide receivers coach in Dabo when they replaced Bowden there. That guy needs to be governor. He needs to have something, $1 million, something to pull the trigger on that. That was just great to see somebody that really had no coaching experience get thrust in that interim position, and they go on and announce him as the permanent head coach. But anyway.
Yeah, Terry Don Phillips is the unsung hero of what Clemson's done. And really, after he stepped down, and the new AD for the past few years is a guy named called Dan Radakovich. And a lot of times whenever you have somebody who's obviously a genius in Terry Don Phillips, and you make an athletic director change like that, there may be some turmoil or some change. But what Radakovich has been able to do is continue what had started. And so, I mean, Clemson fans have been very lucky that program, that university has been very lucky to have two athletic directors in a row that have been on the same page and have allowed this thing to evolve the way it has.
I agree with you. Well, Lawtide, you know, I know you're numb to winning. You have to be. It seems like every dang year y'all are in this championship. You're in the playoffs. Nick Saban, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now, greatest coach ever next to General Nealon. You know, I had to say that. But tell me how that game went between Oklahoma. Did it go how it expected? Tell us about your trip and being there at the game.
Oh, man. First of all, we went in there and we got us a W to begin with. That's what we wanted. We went in there and got a W, but the experience was awesome. That was my first bowl game ever going down to Miami, and, man, it was something special. The atmosphere was awesome. You could cut it with a knife. You had two blue bloods in there going at it. Mm-hmm. And, man, I was really proud of how my team came out and just punched, just straight punched, just mollywopped that sooner or later, program. Just put them in the dirt there in the first quarter, going up 28-0 on them boys. Man, it was sweet. We got to sit back and watch a little bit. Saw a little bit of Kyler Murray there get dragged down, get that uniform dirty. He looked like he done played two doubleheaders out there. But as far as how I thought the game went, it went exactly what I thought it was going to do. I thought we'd jump on them quick, and they'd be playing catch up, and that's exactly what happened. I thought we took our foot off the gas there in the second half, running the football. But when it seemed like they was trying to get back in the game, we went back to throwing it again. They couldn't stop us. That's probably the worst college defense, pass defense I've ever seen in my life, and they really showed it out there. But you got to give it to Coach Saban. We could have put a late touchdown on them there, and we didn't do it. We took a knee. But I was really proud of us. Awesome time down in Miami. I'm going back down there. Hey, 85, I can take that year round. And man, it's just good being an Alabama fan right here with Clemson. Clemson right there, busting people in the face, and we're gonna see what we got Monday night. I'm looking forward to it.
I want to know how many people got hit by shrapnel from that headset that Nick Saban threw to the ground. Boy, he was hot on a couple of plays there. That was great to see that. Did you get to see that from where you're sitting?
Oh yeah, I was sitting right there. I was in there in the end zone right there in the corner on the Alabama sideline, and I was looking right there on the B screen when he took his head off and spiked that thing. I said, "Uh-oh, somebody's gonna have to run the Radio Shack." And he done lost his mind. And but it seemed like when we lost, OU was out there trying to get a little chippy with us. They didn't like us kicking their teeth in too good, so they was out there trying to get chippy with us, and the referees was buying it there a little bit, throwing some flags on us. We were getting little tic-tac flags, but second half I thought we got refocused, and it was business as usual.
Well, this is the part that's going to prove why college football is the greatest sport on the planet. Better than NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA. It doesn't matter. It's the fans, and this is where y'all going to really go at it here. I want to know, Lawtide, what is Alabama going to bring to this Clemson versus Alabama number 4? How do you see that game going? And then Pigskin, jump in and let him have it if you hear anything you don't agree with.
I think Alabama's going to come out there and play 4 quarters of football, just like we've done since the start of this era, since the start of this Saban era. The greatest of all time. Dabo Swinney knows about it. Clemson knows about it. Them Georgia Bulldogs know about it. We know them Tennessee Volunteers know about it. And I'm looking forward to lining up down there on the 50 and watching my Alabama Crimson Tide just maul that offensive line just like we did last year. That offensive line who got manhandled by Texas A&M, got manhandled by Syracuse. I just watched on here watching today. I've been watching film all day on y'all. Y'all been getting manhandled by Syracuse, getting beat at the half. What are y'all doing? Y'all supposed to get y'all at the house. Y'all getting whooped by Syracuse. Oh yeah, got Blondie knocked out. Sunshine, the real Sunshine played at South Carolina. But anyway, I just think we got something for you, Pete. What do you think? You got something for Alabama? Come on with it.
I mean, hey, Lawtide, what you do is the same thing that all other Alabama fans do, is talk about what happened back when Bear Bryant was there, all those fake national titles you've been stacking up over the past 100 years. And you said before the break there, we're not scared of Clemson. We'll play Clemson in a phone booth if we have to. Well, I don't know if you've been paying attention or the rest of the country hasn't been paying attention, but of all the teams in college football, there is one of them out there that is not intimidated by Alabama, and they are the Clemson Tigers. Now, teams like LSU and Georgia, we're the big, mighty SEC. We're not scared of Alabama, but when they go on the field with Alabama, they choke, and they blow the game away. Clemson does not do that. Now, here's a fun fact for you, because how are Alabama fans going to explain, if Clemson wins this game, which I believe that they will, that Dabo Swinney over the past 4 years will be 2-1 against Nick Saban in the biggest game of the year? How are you going to explain that away? Now, for the past 4 years, or the past 3 years that they played, I can honestly say that Alabama had a better roster top to bottom than Clemson did. That's not true this year. There is no difference between talent on these two teams. And we've got a head coach who's been there, done that. There's not a single player on this Clemson team that's not been playing against Alabama every year in a playoff situation. I mean, you want to talk about games where that Clemson had a tough time with Syracuse. I mean, I watched that the Citadel game, and they scored 17 points on you in the first half. We're talking about
what was the final, though? What was the final, Pete?
Hey,
what was the final?
Did we give up?
What was the final? What was the final? I think we put 50 on them, didn't we?
Well, if you're lucky, Tua might make it through the first half without twisting his ankle and getting.
Oh man, I think Tua did pretty good in that Orange Bowl, didn't he? Woo! Only had 2 incompletions.
Yeah, he did. He was against the 110th ranked defense in the country, and
the 115th ranked defense in the country when y'all played South Carolina. What are you talking about? Blaney was out there lighting y'all up. What are you talking about? He said career highs against y'all.
Hey, here's the difference between Alabama's offense and Alabama's offense. They both equal wide receiver cores. They both got elite running games. They both got elite quarterbacks. The difference is Clemson had a true freshman quarterback come in there this year and had to fight for the job the first 4 games of the season, and those first 4 games were rocky because he was.
Yeah, but what does that say about your program? What does that say about your program, though? Your leader, your leader, Bryant, he left out on y'all. What did our leader do? He stayed. Hurts, he stayed. He did that for the team. Not your boy. He left. Now what?
Your almighty saving coach last year, by being stubborn and not put 2 in last year, almost cost you a national championship game. You guys got luckier than the Irish.
See, Jalen Hurts won the SEC championship. That worked last year, but not this year because he overcame those demons. He won an SEC championship. He went in there and took that victory from Georgia. So don't get up here and talk about my quarterback. Your quarterback left. Not mine.
Let me ask you this: since Saban is so much better than Dabo Swinney, and Dabo Swinney obviously doesn't know how.
He is. He's the king. He runs it. All y'all are the first losers. If you ain't first, you're last.
Begging and pleading for Dabo Swinney to come to Alabama whenever Nick Saban retires, which is probably going to be like 2 or 3 years, and then Alabama will go back to 2000.
And y'all are going to, and then all y'all are going to jump on the Alabama bandwagon. The bandwagon bigger because all these fans are fixing to jump on it when Dabo comes. Come on now.
He ain't coming there, but if he's so terrible, why would you want him then?
I never said Dabo was terrible. Who said Dabo was terrible?
You just said, what does that say about your program? So Dabo is the program.
No, your quarterback left. What does that say about your team?
Hey,
what does that say about your team?
Hey, listen, your quarterback is leaving after this year too.
But he didn't leave this year. You know why? Because he wants another ring. Your quarterback didn't want no ring. He left.
Bryant was a senior. He graduated.
No, it don't matter. It don't matter. He left, dog. He left them. He left them high and dry.
Let me jump in
here. He said, "The hell with y'all."
Let me jump in here. When we start talking, sometimes we can't hear. Let's go on. Let me ask you, Pigskin. You heard what Lawtide said they're going to bring. What do you expect out of this ball game between Alabama? Your fourth meeting between them, and then Lawtide, I'll give you a chance to respond to anything he says. But tell me what Dabo and Goldilocks has for this game.
Listen, I've seen what Georgia did, Georgia's defense against Alabama. I've seen what Mississippi State's defense did against Alabama, and neither one of those two teams even hold a candle to the best defensive line in the country at Clemson, South Carolina. And Trevor Lawrence, listen, if you want to compare Tua to Trevor Lawrence, Tua, he was a Heisman candidate. Trevor Lawrence wasn't. Well, Trevor Lawrence is a true freshman who did not start until the 5th game of the year, and he got knocked out of that game. Otherwise, he'd have been up in New York too. And if you really want to just time will prove me correctly, because Trevor Lawrence will be the first player taken in the NFL draft overall when he comes out. I doubt that Tua will.
You heard it, Lawtide. What do you got to say?
Man, these GMs can't wait till Tua goes pro. So that was the biggest job I've ever seen in my life. You don't believe that? You don't believe that, Pete? Hey, let me tell you something. Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. Like you said, he's a freshman. And he better go, back to the cafeteria, eating some beans and taters and get ready. Because Alabama's going to bring all hell down on him. And you can talk about your defensive line. You talk about your defensive line. What about your boy Dexter Lawrence? He ain't even going to play in here because he's taking steroids. You got your boys out there on steroids. And y'all ready for Alabama?
Trevor Lawrence ain't been in the injury tent all season long, has he? Maybe Tua needs to eat some.
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, but it don't matter. We got next man up. Who's y'all's next man? A third stringer who all he can do is hand the ball off?
Hey, if you think that Jalen Hurts is going to come in this football game and beat Clemson like they did Georgia, then you're delusional.
I didn't say he could come in there and beat y'all like that. We ain't going to need him because he's going to play 4 quarters and dice y'all up just like he did Oklahoma, just like he did everybody in the first of the year. You ain't getting the end of the year Alabama. You're getting the fresh Alabama. You're getting the focused Alabama. What are we getting?
You're getting the same Clemson team, sir. You're getting the same.
No, we're not, because Dexter Lawrence isn't on the field. Dexter Lawrence isn't on the field. No. If Dexter Lawrence isn't on the field, y'all ain't the same team.
We're better.
You're better without Dexter Lawrence?
No.
Are you kidding me?
Listen, you're an Alabama fan. You know about that.
I know about what? I know about Dexter Lawrence and on them roids.
They're not going to be able to stop Notre Dame's NSL running back. This is going to be the difference in
Notre Dame. Woo! Y'all played a cupcake. Y'all played a cupcake. Only reason they got in there is because that TV contract.
Remember, when you talk, try to let everybody finish so everybody that's watching this can hear it. What were you saying about we're better, Pigskin? Explain.
No, I'm just saying we're better the second half of the season by a long shot than we were in the first half of the season. Anybody who watched the Clemson team every game this year knows that the difference between the first 4 games and the last 8 was no contest. We blew everybody out. It wasn't even close. I mean, every team that we played looked like we were playing a JV high school team for the second half of the season because of our quarterback play. And Dabo was a genius for making that change. It almost cost him the season with the Syracuse game because In the first half of the game, Trevor Lawrence gets hurt, and then we have to throw our third-string quarterback in there who had never started a football game or thrown 3 passes in a college football game before. And luckily, we got out of there with that. But after that, listen, there is no separation between Alabama and Clemson, talent-wise, coaching-wise, anything else right there. This year, I mean. I'm not talking about last year. I'm not talking about the year before that. I'm certainly not talking about 2010. I'm talking about now. And every Alabama fan, including Lawtide, knows it.
Do you know that,
I think you're real high on
Go
your
ahead.
high horse. Now, I'm gonna tell you something, because we dominated them last year. I mean, we took their lunch money. And it's the same boys. It's the same kids that are going to go up against them. We got the same kids. So what makes you think we ain't going to go in there and take y'all's lunch money again?
It ain't the same kids.
Oh, it's not. It's not the same D-line. Is that not the same D-line? We got the same offensive line. We're going to mash y'all.
Did you watch the game?
We got the baby Rhino. Jacobs is going to go off for at least a buck.
Great. Our defense played great. It was our offense that was sputtering because we had Kelly Bryant at quarterback, which is the reason.
You know what y'all did? Y'all did a great job finding a running game this year. Y'all did a great job. Y'all got 2 good running backs. But what y'all going to do when we take y'all's running game away? Y'all going to lean? Y'all going to put everything y'all got on that freshman's shoulders? Really?
Yeah,
come on now.
With Notre Dame, sir. Did you watch that game? They shut our.
We just beat the best offense. We just beat the best offense in NCAA history. You think we're scared of Clemson?
Do I think
we're not.
Well,
we're not. We've seen the best. We're not. Hey, we know y'all can bring it on defense, but that offense don't scare us. Bring it.
Well, Todd, so how are you going to explain? Like I said before, because this is the most interesting thing to me. If Dabo and Clemson win this game, and he is 2-1 in national championships against Alabama,
it's not going to happen.
How are you?
Y'all had that one time. Y'all are still thinking about 2016. 2016 is over, boys.
Yeah,
it's over.
Guess what? I've been hearing since Todd Boyd was quarterback. Oh, well, Todd Boyd's gone now. Clemson's going to go back.
Todd Boyd couldn't get it done.
Deshaun Watson's gone now. Clemson's going to go back to the
Deshaun Watson. Hey, he was the only one.
Year, and we're the only team that's even sniffed beating you, other than Georgia, and they're choking away every time. So don't sit here and pretend like somehow Clemson is scared or can't compete with Alabama.
We're not saying you're scared. We're just saying we're better.
Let me ask y'all a question. I'm going to jump in here. We're going to go to the final round, but before we go to the final round, y'all just reminded me of something. Let's talk about that game with Deshaun Watson. You know, everybody calls it a pick play. If you're an Alabama fan, if you're a Clemson fan, it was a rub. I'm gonna ask you first, Lawtide. Was that a pick play or was that a rub?
Oh, it was a pick play. All day, every day. If it was NFL, it'd been called. Everybody knows it.
Let me tell you something. I'll even concede to the fact. I'm just going to play along with Lawtide here and say that it was a pick play. But we ran the same play in the first half, and it didn't get called, and we got a touchdown, right? So if you're Alabama's defense, if you're Nick Saban, who's a defensive genius, right? This guy dreams up defensive plays in his sleep. Don't you know that on the last play of the game, that look for that pick play and defend it? But guess what? They couldn't, could they? You
don't know why? You want to know why we couldn't? Because we're on the field about 150 plays. We were wore out.
But why was that?
Because Deshaun was doing his business. But before that, Hurts had y'all over there crying in y'all's hands. Y'all needed that win. Y'all needed that drive. But before that, Hurts had y'all in there crying in y'all's hands. Don't think he didn't. Huh? We had the lead. We had the lead before he got the ball. The what?
Fortunately for you and the rest of Alabama Nation, this is not 2016 Clemson team. We're way better. This might be the best top to bottom team that we've ever had.
If you ain't got Deshaun Watson, you're not better.
I disagree.
You're crazy. You're saying Lawrence is better than Watson? Oh, my God. Somebody take his power away from him. Are you kidding me? Oh, no, but that would be quarterback.
Except for that quarterback, but...
What about your boy Johnson, the wideout that caught all the big balls for you?
Hey, how about Justin Ross? You know that guy who came into your backyard out of the state of Alabama, the number one.
You know we got about 5 or 6 deep in the wide receiver core. You know we got about 5 or 6 deep in the wide receiver core, Pete. That's why he went there. See, we go to get elite talent. We don't go to just get the number one player in the state. Come on now.
Receiver you, sir. We're 5 or 6 deep.
You're wide receiver you. Go check our stats there, big boy. What are you talking about? We got the Blitnikoff Award winner.
I mean, I really.
Did you see what Ruggs did to them boys? Oh my God!
You guys got a great wide receiver core, but you're living in an Alabama bubble if you think your wide receiver core is better than Clemson, sir. So,
man, you need to go watch some more Alabama film, baby.
You
better go watch some more Alabama film. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! And y'all ain't got nobody to touch Jacobs out of the backfield, and y'all ain't got nobody to cover Herb Smith neither. So what y'all gonna do?
Rodgers and Justin Ross. And Hunter Renfrow, who, by the way, has made a living off of getting.
Throw that ball deep. Deontay Thompson will take his lunch money.
Hunter Renfrow is even going to get drafted in the NFL is because he makes Alabama.
Hunter Renfrow needs to go over there and grab a clipboard and sit next to Dabo because that's probably going to be his grad assistant.
Hey, this guy's talking about who's going to cover this guy. You can't even cover Hunter Renfrow. You talking all that mess, man.
We shut him down last year. What are you talking about?
Oh, you shut him down last year. But what about the first 2 times
Well, he got shut down last year. What are you talking about? We're going to shut him down again, baby.
Alabama, all SEC teams.
Y'all couldn't score but 6 points last year, Pete. That's all y'all scored. You acting like y'all scored 30. Y'all scored 6 points.
Because we had a bad quarterback. I mean, what do you
bull crap. He saved your ass in that Texas A&M game.
No,
saved your asses.
All right. I want to announce one of the greatest Georgia fans that watches me, the Roadshow Sports here, Shane Bentley. He sent me a super chat. He says, I want y'all to listen now. He really knows his football. He says, I've got a feeling Clemson is about to expose. Lawrence is about to meet a real defense. And let me read it. I've got to scroll here. I think he's taking Alabama's side. Of course, he's SEC homer. And said, props to Longhorn for actually coming to play, unlike UGA. But, hey, go Dogs. Well, anyway, let's get to this final round. Now, remember, try to wait for your opponent there to quit talking and before you jump in there. But I want y'all going at it. I want y'all to tell me how you really feel. This is the final round. This is what's gonna. There's probably some people watching this on the fence on who's won this fan face-off so far. So this is your round to pull it off. Now don't forget to vote in the live chat, and if this is after the live broadcast, vote in the comment section. Who you think won, Pigskin Peete or Lawtide? But I want to ask you both the same question, and I'm going to give Pigskin Peete a chance to go first. What do you have to say, Pigskin, to Alabama Nation about this game? I want you to talk to Alabama Nation and Lawtide. What is it that just you really want to say to them?
All right. First of all, there's no way in hell on an SEC channel I'm winning this face-off, but I'm okay with that. Because Lawtide is definitely a very formidable opponent, and he's also a good friend. But what I want to say to Alabama Nation is, I mean, I understand where they come from because they've been so great for so long now. And, of course, unlike Clemson, they have, going back 100 years, a much richer history as far as winning titles go, even though half of them are fake. But anyway, I digress. The reality is, and they know it, even if they won't admit it, and Lawtide knows it, even if he won't admit it, is that Clemson is nipping at their heels. And they've been nipping at their heels for 4 or 5 years now. And in a one-game situation where you have 2 teams like this that are so great, which, by the way, these are far and away the 2 best teams in the country, and it's not even debatable. But it scares them. I think it really does scare them. And they're looking 2 or 3 years down the road when Nick Saban's going to leave, and they're hoping that maybe Dabo Swinney will come back home. But if he doesn't, who are you going to get to replace Nick Saban, the greatest coach of all time? And if Swinney stays at Clemson, like I think he will, then what are they going to do then? Because then Clemson is most likely going to take over that top spot. Along with some of these other teams. Of course, Ohio State and Oklahoma and Georgia, and some of these other teams are going to be right there too. But as far as the top dog on the block, it's going to be Clemson whenever Saban leaves. And so it hurts their feelings to think about that. And they can't imagine – here's the arrogance of Alabama fans. They can't imagine for the life of them that somebody on the football field could possibly be better than them. And I'm going to tell you right now, on January 7th, Monday, 2019, you're going to see the better team win this football game, and the better team is Clemson.
Lawtide, he just says you better enjoy it while you can because your dynasty is coming to a close. What do you got to say to Clemson Nation about what's going to happen? Speak your mind and bring it.
You know, I seen Pigskin's video after the Notre Dame game earlier today. He was fairly intoxicated, and he was on there, you know, talking about how he was on the Coors Light. Oh yeah, that's good. That's that skinny man beer, ain't it? But anyway, he was on there and he was talking about how Clemson's this and how Clemson was that, and how they wanted to play either Alabama, you know, or Oklahoma and all this, and they had all this hope, you know, and fire about how good they are, you know, and how Alabama's scared of them. You know, we're not scared of nobody.
I never said that.
Well, you just said it. Did you not just say that Alabama fans are scared of y'all? What are you talking about? I mean, we've been the ones up here with this talking stick. We've been the one up here with this talking stick now. I'll let you talk now. Now there, you big guy.
Don't say something I didn't say, though.
Well, you just said it. You said that we're, you know, I don't know if Alabama's scared of, you know, if Dabo don't come to Alabama. But I want to ask Catfish this. Hey, Catfish, you reckon they're going to stop playing football at Alabama if Nick retires?
Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm glad you let me in on this thing. Y'all wait till next year, by God. Jeremy Pruitt. Now, this is my turn. Y'all, I got the power of the mute button. Y'all wait till next year. I'm going to have a PA system on top of this truck, and I ain't going to shut up all the way to the end. And one of y'all going to have to face me in one of these. But anyway, go ahead, Lawtide.
Well, I mean, that's what you know, Pitt. Oh, you know, all these damn fans are thinking that we're just going to quit playing football. We've been playing football at Alabama a lot of years, and we was playing football before Nick Saban got there, and we'll be playing football after Nick Saban got there. And if we're not going to be on top of the map like we are now, and then it'll be hard to be that good. It'll be hard to be where Nick Saban is right now. But, you know, we can sit back and you know, we got YouTube, and we can pull them games up and watch them. We can pull them games. We can pull that 2015 game up. We can pull that 2017 game up. And we're going to pull that 2018 game up because he's going to go ahead of a Bear and win number 7. I like your passion, Pete. I always have, man. I enjoy your videos. You know that, man. But I think you're you know, looking through Clemson orange glasses if you think that team is going to beat this Alabama team. I said it in the beginning of the year. I said it when I was at the spring game that this would be one of Nick Saban's best teams, and that it's going to be a great year. And we're looking to finish it off. We're looking to go 15-0, be the first team ever, and that would make us the greatest team. I don't hear them talking about y'all like that. You know, y'all over there playing them scrubs in the ACC beating y'all's chest because Florida State's down. They ain't got nobody coaching worth a damn. Y'all whooping up on other little teams like North Carolina State like they're somebody. Georgia Tech. I mean, we're going down to the Bayou and taking their gumbo. We're going down to Georgia in their backyard in the SEC championship. When they knock our star quarterback out, we still come back there and beat them. And that's exactly what kind of team y'all are going to get. We will not be denied in this national championship, and everybody in this country is going to find that out come Saturday night or no, Monday night. And I'm looking forward to it. So roll tide to everybody out there. Thanks for having me on, Catfish. And, hell, let's get it going.
All right, before we go, I got to have a score prediction from both of you. Go ahead, Pigskin. What's your score prediction?
35-32, Clemson.
You heard him, Lawtide. What's your prediction?
27-20, Alabama in a barn burner. Gonna be a defensive battle. Alabama's got enough offense to pull it out in the end. Well,
I see Bobby Durkins is in here. He cast his vote for Lawtide there, Pigskin. He abandoned you. No, I'm just kidding. He voted for Pigskin Pete, won the fan face off. And y'all go check out Lawtide. Doug has a great channel. Just type it in, Lawtide. You'll see his ugly mug up there, and subscribe to him. And Pigskin Pete, me and him started within a week of each other, and he's been a good friend of mine since we started. He has a great channel. Go check out Pigskin Pete. That's Peete. And Bobby Durkins is in here. He does a great Clemson channel, and I appreciate it. I appreciate both of you. And we're gonna, don't forget to vote. Don't forget to vote, and I'll announce the winners here sometime, maybe before the game or after the game. And I just hope it's a great game. You know, the rest of us non-Clemson and Alabama fans, a lot of us are getting tired of it. But, you know, that's coming to an end next year. I've already said my piece. You know, y'all wait till next year. We're going to be bringing it. So y'all know what's coming next. Thanks for tuning in to this Fan Face-Off number 7. My Vols will be back next year. I promise you that.